It's really nice when it's quiet outside. Just a nice, quiet, dry evening. It's getting cold though. So here's the deal. It's late, but I couldn't sleep and I wanted to get these things installed, and it's perfect timing to do it since it's dark outside. Alright guys, so we got a couple things that came in from Diode Dynamics. If you didn't know, Diode Dynamics manufactures LED lighting products. I personally run the Diode Dynamics SS3 fog lights on my WRX, and those things have been solid. And I'm gonna say it now, I should have gotten those things sooner. Eventually I will get it for the Outback Wilderness, but for now, I'm gonna start off with the small things right here. So we're gonna be swapping out the lights on the Outback Wilderness, and these two on top that you see here are for the Vanity lights, the lights that illuminate when you open up the visors. And the ones that I got are 16 lumens, and the color is cool white at 6000K. I will link everything in the description below, but I'm just showing you guys which products I got because they're all different specs on the website. And also down here, we have these HP3 bulbs. These ones are 56 lumens and the color is 6000K, which again is cool white. These ones are for the door lights, the ones that are on the bottom of the door when you open them. I think they're also called puddle lights. I'll show you why in a second here. And then lastly, we got these HP5 LED bulbs. These ones, believe it or not, are for the reverse lights, the backup LEDs, and these are at 92 lumens at 6000K for the color. And it's a little confusing because I know we're all used to seeing reverse lights being a lot bigger than what these are, but just for size comparison, these are the same exact sizes, or might even be the same bulb, just different specs. So that's that. So yeah, these are the products that we'll be installing on the 2022 Outback Wilderness. And I'll show you exactly why I picked the lights that I picked out. So to start things off, this car is great. Everything about it so far, we love driving it. It's comfortable and it does what we need it to do. But little quirks that I've noticed ever since owning the car, first of all, are these lights. So if you open it, it's just, everything else is LED. But this light right here, everything else is pretty modern, and then you get to this thing and it's just yellow. I appreciate that there's a light there, but it would have been a lot better if it was an LED bulb. And the next thing is I actually ended up replacing that light right there, the back light on the top. So that doesn't count, but that was also a regular yellow bulb. Look at this. So if we go in the car, right? These are LED from the factory. There's also a light in there that's LED from the factory. But then when I look at yourself in the mirror, you get these lights. I don't know if that's on purpose so that it's not too bright on your face, you know, when you're flipping up this mirror, but I don't like the look of it and I want to change it right away. And lastly, if we go over here, notice that from factory, these are LED. They're pretty nice. But then the reverse lights, which are right here, are the stock yellow ones. So I want to go ahead and change these out, and I'll show you guys exactly how to do that. All right, so just over here in the back, let's go ahead and start with the reverse lights. All right, so I'm gonna struggle a little bit with the camera angles here, but just, this is the trunk that's all the way up right now. And I'm gonna start with the passenger side bulb for the reverse lights. And what I'm using is one of these. I'm a huge fan of these pry tools just because they don't scratch anything, or, you know, they kind of do, but they limit the scratches. So the first thing I'm gonna do is pop this thing open. If you can't see from there, there is this little ledge here that allows you to stick the tool through just like that. And then you just kind of carefully pry it. Just take your time and the rest of it will pop off just like so. So I apologize for the camera angle. This is kind of tough to film, but I'm gonna show you which bulb you need access to. It's this one right here. So with this gray connector, the first thing you're gonna do is twist it counterclockwise, and that should remove your reverse light, just like so. Now, this is also the same step on how to change this, so follow along if you just need to swap out your reverse light. But this is your bulb right here. Next thing I'm gonna do is get some gloves. Using gloves allows you to remove these cleanly and you don't get any oils on the bulb itself when installing. So let's go ahead and just pull that out. And then we'll want the HP5 LED bulb for the reverse light. So go ahead and carefully take this out of the container. We're just gonna take this, and then plug that in. I'm not sure if these are directional or not, so we'll have to just plug them in and then put the car in reverse. All right, so once you get that plugged in, carefully fish it through the hole. Try not to scratch it. Line the tabs up, twist it clockwise to seal it up. There you go. Okay, and next thing I'm gonna do is put the car in reverse, see if this thing lights up, and then it'll be a good time to compare it with the stock one. Okay, so this is the stock one, and this is the LED one right here. It's a lot brighter and it's a lot sleeker, and it matches the overall car a little better. So now that we confirmed that it works, let's go ahead and get the other side started. And I almost forgot, before you move on to the next one, you just want to put this thing back, and it just clips in just like that. There we go. Cool, now I'm just gonna breeze through the other side right here. All right, so I got the driver's side reverse light installed. Now let's go ahead and move on to the vanity lights. All right guys, I'm having a great time trying to figure out the camera angle, but I think this is the best that I can get it. So the first thing you wanna do is to get your prying tool, and you're gonna be inserting it right here on the bottom. There's a little slot right there, and then you just simply pop that open just like so. Then you gain access to this bulb right here. So you want to pop that bulb out. Be careful, it might be hot. And you never ever ever use anything metal around this area. You might risk frying something. So always use plastic when it comes to these things. So I'm using this one instead. Let's see, I hope this one works. There we go. Got it out. So next up, we want to replace it with the SMF1 LED bulb. This is what it looks like. There's no housing around it or anything, so don't be thrown off by that. Okay. All right, so once you get it positioned, go ahead and reinsert the cover, and then let's do a comparison between the two. So LED, stock, you can see there's a huge difference. So let's go ahead and get this one swapped out. There we go. So these ones are directional, remember that. Looks pretty good. And they're not too bright. I know it looks a lot brighter on camera, but it's honestly a soothing light color. So let's go ahead and breeze through the other side, and then we'll get these door puddle lights installed. All right, so this one you gotta be super careful. You can't just pry it from anywhere. You have to pry it from one side. Keep in mind, I'm on the driver's side door, and where you want to pry it is right here. So it's always going to be facing the inside of the car. So basically, don't want to do it from this side because you'll break it. This is right here where the opening is. So just, again, I suggest using a plastic prying tool. If you put a screwdriver here, this thing's always illuminated, and you might accidentally just touch that metal part and basically cause a short. I've done it before, and it wasn't a lot of fun to fix. So just be patient, get your tool, pry it from this side, and I'm pushing up pretty hard, and then it should pop out. Just like that. And you'll see if I bring the camera around, this is what you pushed up, is this. And so you want to take that out. Now the bulb is very hot, so I suggest actually unplugging the entire housing and then waiting for that thing to cool off before you swap it out. There we go. Okay, so once it's cool to the touch, you can just grab that bulb and slide it on out. There we go. Then you take your replacement bulb, simply just plug that in, make sure it's straight in there. There we go. Then just do a quick plug to test it, see if it illuminates. There we go. So now feel free to plug it in completely. There we go. And then it should just go back in neatly. just like that. So easy enough. All right, so I'm gonna flick the lights off just so we can get a good feel for how bright the lights are. They're not super bright, but I love how cool they look. So this is just the puddle lights right there. And then remember, vanity lights as well. And again, it's not that bright. The camera is just making it look like it's super bright, but it's very calm and it looks really just a lot better than the yellow stock lights. And I'm actually gonna back up the car again to this spot, so hopefully you guys can see the reverse lights. Alright guys, so that about completes the install for the LED reverse lights, the puddle lights, and the vanity lights. It was overall pretty quick. The only thing I would be careful about, like I mentioned, treat this like a recap, is these ones right here. You don't want to pry anything on this section. You always want to pry right here on the bottom. You can see there's these little slits right there where it allows you to get your prying tool in there, and then you just pry out, and that should remove the cover. Anywhere else it might break it, so just be very careful when it comes to that. And then again, with the door lights, want to pry from this side right here, the one that's closer to the front of the car, because that's where that little ledge is, and if you push it, it allows you to pull it down and out. And this is gonna bother me. I didn't realize there was a light here, and so I'm gonna have to swap that out at some point. That's gonna bother me because everything else is LED aside from that, so that's a whole different story. But like I said, everything else is pretty much done and just the way I like it. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this one out. That is gonna be it for this one, you guys. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Damn it, now I gotta freaking look into this one. Stupid.